Hi everyone! So one of the most common questions that I get asked is, should I have scoliosis surgery? So I thought I'd make a video to talk about my own experiences and hopefully help people that might be in the situation of deciding whether or not to have scoliosis surgery. Hi there, my name's Louise, and if you're new here, I run the Life with Scoliosis blog, where I blog about my life and experiences of living with scoliosis. So, should I have scoliosis surgery? In all honesty, I get this question all the time, and it's really very difficult for me to answer that question. Every case of scoliosis is different, and so I can't personally answer this question for other people. The only people who can help really with this decision are the doctors and the scoliosis specialists. However, I can give some of my own reasons why I personally decided to have scoliosis surgery if you are in the position where you're trying to decide what to do for the best, as I know how difficult of a situation that is to be in, as I've been there myself, and I know how hard of a decision it can be. Firstly, I just want to say that scoliosis surgery is a huge surgery with many risks, and the decision to have this type of surgery should not be undertaken lightly. It took me many number of years to come to a decision, as for a long time I just didn't know what to do for the best. I can talk about my own experiences, but ultimately, if you're in the situation where you're having to decide whether or not to have scoliosis surgery or not, then you need to do as much research as possible in order to make the best decision for your particular situation. The main reason I ultimately decided to have scoliosis surgery was because I had a very severe spinal curvature. So scoliosis is usually measured by something called a Cobb angle, which is what the specialists use to measure the severity of the spinal curvature. People without scoliosis typically would measure a Cobb angle of less than 10 degrees. Anything above 50 degrees would be considered a severe scoliosis and a candidate for surgery. In my particular case, my scoliosis was well over 80 degrees, so it was definitely considered severe, and as a result of that it was considered as highly likely to progress in the future. And so because my scoliosis was classed as severe, I was terrified of the future and I was constantly afraid that it was going to progress. I would say whether or not somebody should consider scoliosis surgery should depend very much on the severity of the curve, the age at diagnosis, and the risk surrounding progression. These are all things that a specialist can advise on, because not all scoliosis curves progress, especially the less severe cases. So really that was the main reason why I decided to have scoliosis surgery, because I was worried that the curve would progress over time and cause me more problems in the future. I did have pain, I did not like the way my back looked, but these reasons were not reasons that I had the surgery and should not be the only reasons why somebody should opt for the scoliosis surgery, which I'll go into more now. Scoliosis surgery is not guaranteed to get rid of pain. It can certainly help to alleviate pain, but it's not guaranteed to get rid of pain completely. In fact, it can cause new pains that you may not have had before. In my case, it has helped a lot to alleviate the pain I had pre-surgery, but I still get pain now. It hasn't got rid of the pain completely. I tend to get different pain. I get quite a lot of lower back pain. I have nerve damage in my back. I can't feel my back at all. And that's a result of the surgeons cutting through my back and my muscles to get to my spine, so inevitably there will be some degree of nerve damage there. I have obviously limited flexibility now because my spine is fused. So there are other things to consider, whereas the pain may improve post-surgery, but there are other things that this type of surgery can cause later down the line that may not initially be thought of. If you're interested in hearing more about my pain now versus my pain before surgery, I do have another video where I talk specifically about my pain, the differences in the pain I have now compared to before surgery, and the ways that I manage the pain as well. Another thing to note as well, and should be considered when making the decision about whether or not to have scoliosis surgery, is how long the recovery from this kind of surgery actually takes. It is major surgery. It takes a long time to recover, and this will differ depending on the age as well that you are at the time of the surgery. Often, if the younger you are, the more likely you're able to recover quicker. However, for me, it took me years to recover and to start feeling like myself again. And that can be very difficult. It can make you feel quite low at times because you feel like you're never going to get better and improve. It's one of the hardest things still that I've ever been through. It's not something to be undertaken lightly. It's a massive, massive thing, long recovery. Now I do anything that I want to do. I'd say my life is pretty much back to normal, but it took me years to get to that stage. It's definitely not a quick recovery, and it can be very, very difficult at times. You need a lot of support and physio and rehabilitation after this type of surgery. Another area that I wanted to touch upon in this video is cosmetic improvements. With a surgery like scoliosis surgery, the goal is to straighten and derotate the spine as much as is safely possible. In many cases, they can't get the spine 100% straight because it's not always safe to do so. And that is the decision that the surgeons have to make while performing the surgery. Due to this, cosmetic reasons should not be the main driving factor in making a decision on whether to have scoliosis surgery or not, because it's difficult to know what the outcome will be. Most people that have scoliosis surgery tend to get a good result, but in many cases the spine will not be 100% straight following surgery. In my case, I still have scoliosis. My spine is still curved. I still have ribs that are rotated on one side. I still have a shoulder blade that sticks out on one side, and I still have a slightly uneven waist as well. Compared to how they were before surgery, it's a massive improvement, but I suppose the point is, it's not and never will be 100% normal. And so if I was going into the surgery thinking that, then there's a possibility that I may come out of the surgery feeling a bit disappointed because I didn't look how I expected to look afterwards. So really, the cosmetic side of things, I think this surgery is such a big surgery and the risks that are associated with this surgery as well, it's just not worth having this type of surgery purely for cosmetic reasons. So those were my thoughts and experiences on the question of should I have scoliosis surgery. Like I said at the start of the video, it is a difficult question to answer. It's a very individual decision. All I could say is do your research, speak to as many people as possible that have had scoliosis surgery, that are a similar age or in a similar situation to yourself, and talk about the recovery and the impact on their lives now as well. Make sure you get all the facts and speak to as many specialists as you can as well and make the decision that's right for you. For me, the benefits of the surgery far outweighed any cons. Yes, I still get pain. I can't bend my spine. I have neurological issues. My back's numb. There are many things that I live with on a daily basis, but for me, the main reason I had the surgery and the benefit of having the surgery in my particular situation was that now I don't need to worry anymore about my spine progressing as I age. And that gave me so much anxiety that affected my life so much. And it took over my life, and I wasn't really living because I was that stressed and that anxious about it. So the fact that that weight has been lifted, yes, I had to go through a lot of pain and recovery. But for me now, I can live my life without that hanging over me, that my scoliosis is going to progress. And for me, that is worth everything. Scoliosis has a massive impact on mental health, and I actually made a video all about that. So if you're interested in hearing more, then definitely check that video out. But yeah, I think the benefit that having the surgery has had long term on my mental health and alleviating the anxiety has made a massive positive impact on my life. So that's the end of the video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me about scoliosis surgery, or you would like to share your experiences, then feel free to comment below. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel as well. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time.